What's going on, everybody? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So I know I haven't uploaded in a few days, and that's mainly because I'm still resting my finger, as well as just, there's nothing really to do since I'm kind of off for, node grinding. So yeah, I've just been kind of like just taking it easy. But I want to discuss, what's happening in Call of Duty Mobile, because we are about to enter Season 9 with 2 different weapons. So of course, that's pretty much what happens every season, right? We always get one weapon during the Battle Pass and one later on in a seasonal challenge. So this time around, it's going to be the Thumper as the seasonal challenge and the Swordfish as the Battle Pass weapon. Of course, by the title of this video, the main topic is whether or not the Swordfish is actually going to be a very powerful assault rifle, or it's, very overpowered. And I've kind of been making this a series at this point because every season that has passed so far for like the past 5-6 seasons has just been a complete nightmare. This is something that I'm sure a lot of people can't blame me. There's always been new weapons that get released that make you just want to off yourselves because they're just so broken, like the M13, the Bison, the fucking MX9. Like, how bad is the Swordfish going to be? And that's a very valid question, because that's the one that raises the most concern for me. I mean, I don't think the Thumper is going to be overpowered, but of course, before it comes out, I'm probably going to make a video about that too. But as of right now, let's just focus on the Swordfish. So in order to actually talk about it or even discuss it, we have to look back into the history of the Swordfish. So in mainly Black Ops Call of Duty games, we usually have a 4-round burst weapon. In Modern Warfare. In Black Ops 2, we had the M8A7, which is a 4-round, and it was actually used for competitive. It was a really powerful weapon. In Black Ops 3, we had another one called the M8A1, or I don't know. It had some different A in it, but yeah, it was another M8, which was another 4-round burst, and that one as well was used in competitive Call of Duty. And in Black Ops 4, we had one that wasn't really called the M8, but it was called the Swordfish. That's where the weapon that we're getting originates from. So typically in those games, it would kill in one burst if you managed to land all shots. But with the Swordfish, it was a little bit different, because instead of having 100 health, in Black Ops 4, we all started with 150. So it would take an extra bullet after that burst to actually kill someone. But there was operator mods in that game that does change the weapon in some way. For example, the Spitfire had a operator mod called the Wildfire that increased the fire rate like exponentially, like crazy amounts. So the Swordfish was not a stranger to it. It did have a different operator mod, which was called the Pentaburst. So basically it turns it from a 4-round to a 5-round burst. That specific operator mod did help the weapon a lot, and you were able to secure 1 burst kills so long as you landed all 5 hits. Of course, it was different back then because we didn't have Gunsmith. It was the game right before the Gunsmith came out. What we had was the Pick 10 system, which allowed us to have 10 slots and put whatever weapons or attachments that we could. With operator mods, it took, I think, like 2 or 3 different slots. I think it was 2. So yeah, you have to be really careful on what you choose in order to have an operator mod on. Of course, here it's a different story because operator mods are kind of more free in some ways. If you think about it, I mean, the crossbar for the Hades was actually an operator mod. So that one took 2 spots, but here it's just a simple attachment. So if they were able to add a 5-round burst attachment for this weapon, it's just going to be a simple attachment from the Gunsmith, probably from the ammo conversion or from a barrel. But I mean, even then, you didn't really need the Pentaburst to actually succeed with that weapon. If you were good enough, you could still rock the basic 4-round burst. Of course, here in Call of Duty Mobile, it's a different story because burst weapons aren't really the best thing in this game unless you're using the Renetti. I mean, if you use the M16, it kind of sucks. If you use the Shicom, it's even worse. I mean, the Pharaoh is alright, but it's not something that will be dominant, I don't think, ever. So yeah, it's a very weird thing, because when it comes to burst weapons, there's a fine line when it comes to balancing. You can't overdo it, because then it's just going to be overpowered immediately. That mistake happened in Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare Remastered. Since you had the stopping power perk, all you needed was 2 shots out of that 1 burst to actually kill someone. Of course, I mean, now we don't have stopping power, but there's an off chance that that can always happen again, where maybe we need 3 shots out of that 4-round burst in order to kill someone. I mean, that wouldn't be a problem to me if it was, up front where you're like maybe a foot away. But if you're from like a mile away, maybe that will be a problem. Of course, that's not really the case when it comes to the M16 or the Ferro or Renetti. You still always need those 3 shots no matter what. Of course, the burst damage is one thing. What about the burst speed? You know, the fire rates. Like, how often are you going to be able to shoot bursts? That's another thing that we have to worry about. And we also have to keep in mind, how fast is each of those 4 bullets going to land on the person? I mean, how accurate is it going to be? With the M16, it was a different story because, I mean, yeah, the burst was strong, but it wasn't fast. You know, there was no rapid fire or anything to help you with the burst speed, or like at least the speed those 3 shots land on a person. But, you know, typically when it comes to the M8 or any 4-round burst weapon, it tends to be a little bit quicker, so that's another thing to be concerned about. Well, I mean, it wasn't fast in this game. I mean, if you go on Black Ops Cold War, at the beginning of the game's life cycle, yeah, it was pretty fast. You land the shots immediately and you could just easily get a 1-burst kill. But of course here, like I said, it's a different story because the burst is a lot slower. So yeah, like I said, there is a fine line when it comes to balancing burst weapons. We've had a lot of issues in the past for Call of Duty when it comes to balancing burst weapons. Like, sometimes they are really overpowered, sometimes they are just completely useless. For the most part, the M16 here is not really that bad. I mean, you can still do all right. But for the most part, there are other games where just the M16 didn't perform as well. Cold War was not one of those games. It was probably one of the best weapons at the time. But yeah, like I said, it's very hard to perfectly balance a burst weapon. So now we come down to the question, will it be overpowered or will it not? To be honest with you guys, it might be in the middle somewhere. It might be a good viable weapon, kind of like the KN-44, where it's balanced just right. But again, I don't know. I don't know the mag options. I don't know if there's going to be extended mags or some special conversion that makes the burst faster or makes it stronger or maybe weaker but accurate. You know, there's just so many things that we have to look at before we can actually judge for ourselves. But like I said, I just want to give you guys some insight on this weapon because, I mean, in Black Ops 4, it was an alright tactical rifle. I mean, that's what they called it back then. Yeah, I think that's what they call it now in Black Ops games. They usually call burst weapons tactical rifles. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of spotty. We don't really know how powerful this weapon's going to be. It could be the best thing, it could be the worst. I don't know, man. There's a fine line. You can't overdo it with this one. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. My name is Triforce Addiction. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.